So Drew McIntyre wins, and then we're gonna skip a match and just go to the world title match, and we'll go back to the Sammy match, but just because it'll make it easier for us.
Yeah.
So then we go into the world title match, and we'll talk about the match as a whole. But Drew McIntyre attempts to cash in. He makes it a triple threat match, similar to the way Seth Rollins did at WrestleMania with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. This was only the second time that ever happened. But CM Punk came again to spoil Drew McIntyre's victory. And yeah, it was pretty unfortunate. And who knows, 100 nobody knows 100%. Nobody can know 100% what their thoughts were for that. I don't know if what Triple H was thinking. Nobody knows for sure, why Triple H made the decision he did, because it is his decision for, creative stuff like that. But that was, I'd say, the biggest takeaway that people were disappointed with was Drew McIntyre won the Money in the Bank, cashed in about an hour later, and lost. And now we have to go a year again before we see the Money in the Bank briefcase. So that's what people are pretty upset about. What's your take on it, Mark? Because, like I said, we did have some people in our comments that did correctly predict this. They said Drew would win, and he would lose the cash-in. So shout out to that guy in the comments. I'm sorry I forget your name right now, but I responded to him and I said that would be a waste. I didn't say that was wrong, like that it wouldn't happen, because once he said it, I was like, that honestly might happen, but it would be a waste, and it was, because now we don't have the Money in the Bank briefcase for that long. In my opinion, I know Mark, you'll probably get into your thoughts. Like, I know your justification of it a little bit was the fact that Gunther and Cody Gunther is most likely going to win the title at SummerSlam, which I think we all agree on. And then Gunther and Cody aren't going to lose those titles anytime soon, probably till at least Mania, and not to whoever's going to be holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. So, I guess it more just, they were, I guess, at a stalemate on who they could see taking a title off somebody in this situation. But that's why you have a year to cash in the briefcase. Like, you never know what's going to happen. And I understand, obviously it adds more heat to the feud, but I think there was plenty of heat in the feud already. Like, I don't think this needed this. Drew had already, Punk had already costed Drew the title twice. He's now done it 3 times. And Drew took Punk out in Chicago. Like, there was so much heat in this feud already. I just don't think it was 100% necessary. I think one of the main reasons I feel like they did it was to get Seth back involved in this feud. Because now I think we might end up getting a triple threat with Seth, Punk, and Drew at SummerSlam.
We're definitely getting the triple threat
at
SummerSlam now.
Which you just could have done that. You could have figured that out without losing the cash in. I don't know. It just feels like I said on that comment in the reply to the person who correctly predicted it. I would just think it's a waste. Like, it's just a waste of the Money in the Bank briefcase. If this feud needed that heat, I'm all for sacrificing something to get, like, proper heat. You know what I mean? Like,
for the greater good.
Yeah. If say Punk was out from the time that I don't know, still since Mania or something, maybe it would have made more sense. But, like,
it just feels, it's weird because
it's just, there's so much. It's like just give us the match
Punk
already, dude. Like, this is the 3rd time. Like, it's not really necessary anymore, dude. But it's like, and I saw other people online were like, bro, you didn't listen. Punk said, as long as he's in WWE, Drew McIntyre won't be world champion or something. And I'm like, I don't. What?
People say that all the
time.
though.
Like, what are you talking about? It's not like you have to understand what he said. Like, I'm like, yeah, I guess, but like, he didn't have to win Money in the Bank. Like, Drew just shouldn't have won.
He could have cost him it in the match, also.
Yeah, that's what he should have done. He should have just cost Drew the Money in the Bank match.
So, the thing with Drew winning the Money in the Bank is I understand why they did it, because they wanted to like get it some more heat and more eyes on this feud and to get Seth involved. However, man, failed Money in the Bank cash-ins.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They just suck. Like, failed cash-ins suck. Nobody,
especially night
they're not
of.
fun for anybody. Like, yeah, especially night of. Now we got to go a whole year.
Was this? Do you know off the top of your head? Was this the first failed night of cash-in?
Probably. I can't think of another one.
That's what makes it worse, because then the excitement is always there for like the next year. We're like, oh, is this person going to cash in? And now are they going to cash in a month from now? And that's the fun of it. It's the fun we're going to have with Tiffany Stratton winning the briefcase. But I don't know. I
don't know. Like,
don't
people
think
thought Damian was in a situation where he couldn't cash in, and then he did, and it turned out pretty fine. Like, he's having a pretty solid run. So, like, I don't know. That's why you have a year. You have a year. And then close to a year from now, if you're still like, then you do a failed cash in. But you don't have to do it right away. Like,
that's what I thought they were going to do with Priest, is wait like a full year, because I've been waiting for them to wait
until the next Money in the
following
Bank.
Year's
Yeah.
Money in the Bank, which
I
they
love
haven't
that.
done yet for some reason. I think it's a great idea to like, you can kind of get like a Panics cash in, but like heading into this match, I thought they were in an interesting sort of spot with everything, because if whoever was going to win was either going to have to cash in prior to SummerSlam or not until after WrestleMania. That was kind of my whole thing was with that, because they weren't going to, because Gunther was winning at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. He's 100% winning. Cody's not losing that title until WrestleMania. No one's going to cash in on Gunther after he wins it, because they're going to give Gunther a long title run. So it's like, all right, you can wait until after next year's Mania for sure, but then I guess they didn't want to do that, or they couldn't think of something good, because you have to at least think somewhat that far ahead if you're with the Money in the Bank stuff. So I think their thought process was they didn't see any other option of the winners of a good time to cash in, and I think they thought the best scenario, the best thing they can come up with, was to have Drew win and the cash-in failed on the same night. The thing with this whole, like, Drew and Punk situation is like, I don't know, you kind of start to side with Drew.
Yeah,
right?
dude, seriously. They're making
but
Punk...
he's, like, supposed to be the heel in this feud.
They're making Punk super heel, dude.
Which, like, I guess you can argue that both are kind of just, like, tweeners at this point. At least Punk is now sort of merging more into a tweener, but I mean, and I thought we should probably talk about the potential botch, the botch for the 3 count that wasn't a 3 count. A lot of speculation was going on about that. Was Priest supposed to kick out? Was Drew's music supposed to hit before the ref got to 3? Mm-hmm. Who knows? We don't have to like sit here and look that far into it. Like, that sort of stuff happens, obviously. Something went wrong, which is like, whatever. It's fine.
Mm.
Not that big of a deal. Shit happens. But what did you think about that match before Drew tried to cash in? Because they were putting on a pretty good match.
No, I enjoyed it. Like, it was a good match. Seth's gear was fire. Seth had
always
some.
Brings the heat.
Yeah, Seth is always going to bring the heat with that gear, man. But yeah, I enjoyed the match a lot. Yeah, that 3 count. Me and Mark said, I mean, Triple H didn't like 100% confirm that Priest was supposed to kick out, but it seems like that's kind of what he hinted toward. But we really thought it seemed like Drew's music was supposed to hit before that 3 count. And that would be what screwed it up. But who knows? We'll never
to
know.
me, that makes more sense.
Same.
Of,
I
like-
think he would have kicked out. I don't think Damian would just.
would have kicked out, but I don't think they would have had Drew's music hit right after.
No,
Priest
exactly.
kicked
Like
out,
I don't
you
think.
know?
I don't think
It
he
would've
would
been a
just
weird
not
time.
kick out. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I just think I don't know. I think a little more highly of Damian Priest in that, and I think I think a little more of him than, and I say that he totally could have made the mistake, and mistakes happen. It's like, you know what I mean? They wrestle every single, like you're bound to make a ton of mistakes. And it was a really good match.
It's a great match.
But like I said, I really don't think that I don't think he was supposed to kick out. I think the music was supposed to hit. I don't think it was his fault.
Yeah. I agree. I think that was probably at least, and we'll never know unless someone just come straight out says it, which probably is unlikely. So, at the end of the day, who cares? Shit happens. So, yeah, it looks like we're heading towards a triple threat match at SummerSlam, which probably within the next week or two will sort of dish out our SummerSlam early match card predictions at some point. So be on the lookout for that. So.